Hello everyone! Welcome back to more Guild Wars. This is the Slappee and Subtlenose saying hello. We are here in Lion's Arch. We just finished off Sparkfly Fen. We have a look at the map here. Let's see, this is the area we just finished off. Lovely stuff, and we defeated, luckily, Twiddle the Sunless. Very exciting stuff. Now, I told you that we were going to do Twilight Arbor next, which is true. But if you have a look here in the email we received regarding Twilight Arbor, let's see, it was a while ago now, aiding Keith in Twilight Arbor, it says, "Hail, mighty hero. The stories of your accomplishments have spread far and wide. I've heard from Keith, who's looking for help in the Twilight Arbor, a nest of Nightmare Court followers north of the Grove." Right, so she needs help, and it's somewhere north of the Grove. So if we actually check the map here, let's see. All the way here, across the Sea of Sorrows, we have the Grove, and up here in Northern Caledon Forest is the dungeon Twilight Arbor. So we need to get there somehow. Hey, and I've always talked about how we can do these lore tours of the different capital cities whenever Subtlenose sort of gets there in his own storyline. And I think that this is a great opportunity to actually do a lore tour of the Grove. So that's what we're going to do. So we're here in Lion's Arch. We've been here before, and this is the Asura Gate. That's pretty cool. It says here the Grove Asura Gate, so let's actually head on through. This is really nice. So we haven't been here before on this character, and actually we've never been in this western part of Tyria in general. So this is a big leap for Subtlenose. And here we are. This is the Grove. Okay, so the first thing here, we have some gate assistants. And a gate engineer here, an Asura, stationed here to sort of tend to the gate, I suppose. I believe I should mention, if this is your first lore tour and you haven't seen one of those before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the whole of the capital city, the Grove, speak to as many NPCs as I can, and interact with as much as I can, in order to get as much lore and story as possible out of these NPCs. And also talk about the history and the story of the Grove and the Sylvari in general as we go along. Yeah, so it's a very relaxed format, and it's probably going to be a fairly long video, so do strap in. Make sure you got something to drink. Alright, so as usual, when we end up in a new capital city, we have these directions NPCs here. These are the wardens.
This is the moment.
And he says, "Are you lost?" "No, of course not. I've just found you." Haha. "Can I guide you anywhere in particular?" And then you can speak to them. And for instance, "Can you show me where my home is from here?" And then if you choose that, then you get a little notification on your map where your home instance is. Stuff like that. I believe there's also a runner somewhere you can speak to. And then the runner will actually run physically to that location you want them to sort of guide you to. So that's a pretty nice thing you can do as well. Okay, so we have, first of all here, a dub.
Seize the moment.
It says, "Hello there. If it's not too personal, may I ask you if you have children?" Why do you need to know that? "I've been hired by a Crichton noble to protect her children while she's visiting the Grove, but because my people cannot have children, I don't know anything about them." Ah, why did you take the job then? Fair enough. I've always found children fascinating, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to experience another culture. Smart idea, but I can't help you. Good luck. Yeah, Subtlenose doesn't have any children. No, sorry. But that's pretty cool. So, straight ahead, we have this very interesting fact that Sylvari obviously are not born, and they don't have, sexual relationships, but they are all spawns from the same mother tree.
Hey, are you alright? What's troubling you?
I had the worst nightmares last night. They cling to me still, and I can't seem to stop crying.
Poor thing. Do you think they were your own nightmares or someone else's?
I can't imagine such horrible things could originate in me.
It's pretty interesting. So we have this talk of the dreams and nightmares and stuff, which is a very heavy theme for the Sylvari. But anyway, so they are not born traditionally as other creatures are.
This has been going on for too long. You're exhausted.
I just need to harden myself to them. I can't let them get to me.
No, that's exactly what the Nightmare Court wants. They want you to stop feeling.
Ah, and the Nightmare Court, the followers of the nightmare rather than the dream.
I don't know whether these nightmares come from the Nightmare Court or not. They could be a symptom of darkness in my heart.
You can't think that way. You are good and gentle. It's a trap. Don't lose yourself.
I'm not even sure who I am anymore.
So they are very fragile and very sort of magically potent creatures, these ones. They're not the standard, like emotionally, they don't function the way, for instance, humans or, well, in particular Charr. They don't really function the same way emotionally. But yes, back to children. So if we have a look here, if we just like check out this beautiful sky dome up here, this whole tree is the mother tree or the pale tree, which is actually, you know, the grove itself. And this is where...
Look, it's the Charr.
Oh.
I'd love to hear some of his war stories.
You should go ask him.
Why don't you?
You first.
This is pretty cool. I actually think if we follow these people, they will walk up to a Charr and ask the Charr some like questions about what war is and what more war means to him and stuff like that. Yeah, let's check this out. See what's going on. It's pretty interesting.
Excuse me, kind sir. I wonder if we could trouble you.
Too late. What do you want?
We were wondering, have you been in a war?
Every day is war.
What's it like? I imagine the sparkling armor and lines of soldiers marching into battle.
The stamping of boots, and the voices raised in glory.
The wading through gore. The blood that stains your claws. The sweat burning your eyes. The smell of bodies. The death. Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Typical interaction between curious Sylvari and sort of warlike douchebaggy Charr. But yeah, so this is the tree where all the different Sylvari actually come from. Or I should say all playable Sylvari, because we'll come to that later as well. We are not 100% sure exactly where all Sylvari come from, because, well, I mean, most of them that we know of are from this pale tree, but there are also other Sylvari, which you can happen across. But we'll speak more about that a bit later on. Okay, so let's continue on here along this western path. We have a fawn. If I could warn all newly awakened about the health dangers beyond the grove, I would. It breaks my heart every time I receive a patient afflicted with something strange acquired while traveling. Like what? Take Neris, a beautiful creature, if I ever saw one. She returned last night after a successful wild hunt, and all of her lovely foliage was a black mass of fungal rot. Ugh. Can you heal it? I can stop the infection and reverse some of the damage. I may even be able to regrow some of it, but it will never be what it once was. How unfortunate. I wish you both luck. Yes, fair enough. So this guy is a tender of some sort? Caring for others. So all Sylvari have this calling for something very specific that they feel the need to fulfill throughout their lives. And that guy most probably have the calling of wanting to help others and heal other Sylvari. Alright, and we have a karma vendor here, which is...
It's nice to see you.
Yep, it is. Which is the sort of standard basil, bell pepper, and ginger root, for some
Until we
reason,
meet
merchant.
again.
I have no idea why they are scattered throughout these capital cities. But anyway, we also have Gardener Thior. Isn't the grove a wonderful place? I love that it surrounds the blessed mother. I've always wanted to remain near her. That's the pale tree.
I know your face from
Where do you live? I don't see any houses. They're around, because our houses are a natural part of the environment. They often blend in with other structures. Interesting. How long have you lived here? I haven't left the grove in the 13 years since I emerged from my pod. Don't you want to see the world? I heard stories from travelers who come here, and I share their excitement. That's enough for me. I'll let you get back to it then. Alright, so this guy's 13 years old, but he's still fully grown. So when a Sylvari sort of is born or is sprouted, they enter the world in a fully sort of developed state. They are not babies. There are no Sylvari like babies or anything like that. So actually, if we have a look at the timeline here, let's see, story journal. This year is the year of 1325. So 1302, I believe, is the year when the firstborn of the Sylvari first sprouted. So they are about 25 years old. That's the oldest Sylvari. Let's see, and we have Mentor Arduin.
Well met.
This guy's pretty cool. What brings you here? My class on the tenets of Sylvari's tablet isn't until tomorrow morning. Give me the short version. What tenets? Sventari wanted to give people a code to live by. His hope was that those who studied his tenets would think about the decisions they make and the impact they have. So, he's talking about Ventari, one of the two central characters for the sort of birth of the Sylvari as a race as a whole. So back in Guild Wars 1, back I believe around 250 years ago, there was a centaur called Ventari. He was part of the Harathi tribe of centaurs, which is a very warlike and very brutal tribe. And he saw all this chaos and destruction, but he went against his fellow countrymen, or his fellow centaurs, and decided to dedicate his life to promoting peace and pacifism and kindness and love and everything like that. And he stumbled upon another very, very central character called Ronan, who was a human. He was a Shining Blade soldier who, during the war in Kryta, which we've had some hints to in the latest update, which is really cool, during the war between Shining Blade and the White Mantle, he also got forced into all this chaos and destruction and war. And he found on one of his missions as a Shining Blade soldier, he happened upon a cave which was guarded by monstrous plant creatures, is the description we get. And in that cave he managed to take one seed from a batch of seeds. We don't exactly know how many different seeds. But this like fist-sized seed he brought with him to show his daughter when he came back from the war. But when he came back to his village, which was actually situated right here on the Tarnished Coast, right here where this tree is sprouted, you can guess where this is going. But when he came back to his village, his daughter and his family had been slaughtered by the Mersat, which was the White Mantle's gods and the spellcasters and the douchebags of Guild Wars 1. So instead of becoming extremely angry and wanting to fight the White Mantle even harder, he gave up the war effort and decided to never again use a weapon. And he planted this seed on their graves, on his family's graves, in that spirit of kindness and love and understanding. So Ventari came and met Ronan and tended to this newly sprouted little tree that would eventually grow into this huge thing we see here. And they, the two of them, tended it, and around it created this little safe haven for travelers from any race or background, as a safe place to rest and get away from all the destruction and chaos around in the world. So, okay, that was a short version of what happened. So we can ask Mentor Arduin, who is Ventari? It was a centaur who lived over 200 years ago. He and a human named Ronan planted the pale tree and tended her when she was a sapling. I say goodbye. So actually, in Guild Wars 1, you could see the sapling of the pale tree just being a small, I don't know, this high little tree stump, basically. And it's pretty cool to see that now, 200 years later, it's grown fairly big. And the Grove, as a capital city, is that pale tree and the roots of the tree. So let's have a great look at it through this vista. Yes, and the beautiful song in the background. Is it called Fear Not This Night? Something like that. So the soundtrack of the Sylvari. Anyway, oh whoopsie. So this is pretty cool. If we have a look here, we can see that down there, alright, past the mist anyway, we would be able to see, is the waters. It's the Sea Rider's Gate, yeah. So that's what I was confused of when I first came to the Grove on my first character. I found it a bit sort of, what would you call it, like a enclosed thing, where you can't really see the rest of the world from outside. But these things, these little vistas, makes you piece all of it together. So we have the shoreline here, actually, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's continue on here. We have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, reached our first little jumping puzzle. We might as well do this while we're at it. So just to get another vista here, we climb up on this little building. It's a fairly easy climb. Here we go. Second one. In a way, that's the sort of tip of the tree. It's pretty cool. Okay, we don't want to miss anything, so let's just go back. Dun, ta-da-da. Alright. So here we are. What is this place? We have a repairs person here. We have the Envoy's Shelter. Now, let's see if we can speak to anyone in here. We have some training dummies. And some archery range places here. Merchants.
You chose this.
Over dramatic. You're really sort of getting into the Warden Ranger. Well done. Okay. So yeah, this appears to be a training ground for the Wardens, which is, I've talked about this as well, every capital city for every faction have their own Guardian caste, or whatever you'd call it. So the Sylvari have the Wardens, which their wild hunts, or their callings from the dream, is to defend this place, it's to defend the Grove. And I think it was one of the firstborn of the Sylvari who created the Wardens, and dedicated her life, I think, to defending this place. But we'll learn more about the firstborn as we go along as well. Very interesting characters, very much based on Arthurian legends, like King Arthur and Excalibur and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that later on as well. Here we have Domhan. Alright, I just met my first Norn. I was sitting on the hill, minding my own business, and he came running by, almost stepped on me. I had to roll out of the way. I'm lucky to be alive. They do tend to be large. He claimed he hadn't seen me and said, next time maybe you'll watch where you dump your stump. And he laughed and laughed. Norn humor. Yes, indeed. Okay, and here we actually have a Sparkfly. I just noticed this when I played through this the other day. We've just done Sparkfly Fen, and I never realized that the whole area, Sparkfly Fen, is actually named after these little things. It's pretty cool. So you can see the Sylvari architecture here. Everything basically is a plant in some way or another. Ooh, we have Wisteria. There's something I've been wondering. Do you people take squires? Squires? Whatever for. Our valiants, those who are called for a wild hunt, sometimes take squires to accompany and assist them. I'm looking for a valiant myself. Even our cubs would turn you into toothpicks. I don't need a squire, good luck. Well, yes indeed. So, taking a squire, so they're very sort of medieval English, these guys, which is pretty cool. With different armor vendors here, which actually do look pretty cool. They're all bark-like and leafy. I think ArenaNet have made just a beautiful work of designing the Sylvari and the Grove in general, and the general appearance and culture and everything. All right, let's see. We have Baguette. The Wardens warned me you'd be coming by this way. I wanted to get a good look at you. They say you're powerful. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Ah, that's pretty cool. It's like a fan of us there. And this is pretty cool as well. You can see these citizens. Well, alright, so it's this bugged out. He's supposed to like hold a hoe of some sort, I suppose. But, oh.
Walking, talking, eating and sleeping.
Not everyone appreciates the opportunity to travel to the mists. Others have no interest in making war.
They haven't learned enough about the world yet to understand that it needs to be defended. They'll be back.
Right. We have these mist warriors, which are also all over the place in these capital cities. You can have a look at them. If you have any questions about the Battle of the Mist, I've got answers. So all of this is PvP related. Not very interesting, so we're not gonna delve more into that.
I've been away, traveling across the land.
Did you see anything interesting on your travels?
It was all interesting, from the centaurs of the west to the dragon brand in the east.
What was your favorite of all the places you saw on your voyage?
Lion's Arch. It's an enormous, glorious city with a fascinating array of citizens.
What was your least favorite place?
Holbrack, a city of Norn, is covered in ice. It sapped my strength to be so cold all the time.
Did you bring back any mementos?
I have gold coins from Lion's Arch. The market there is incredible.
You'll be safe on my watch.
It's lovely. That's a cool little conversation. She's a traveler. Or an adventurer, even. Yeah, so let's not bother with the Mist Wars too much. This is the very center of the grove, by the way. You just happened to stumble upon it. Yes, so if we have a look here. Yes, Pale Trees Circle. So I suppose this place goes by many different names. The Pale Tree, the Grove, Mother Tree, stuff like that. We also actually have here some diving goggles, but we're not going to use them. Hello there. Whoopsie, sorry, excuse me. You could dive all the way to the lower levels there, which is pretty cool. But we haven't finished here yet, so let's continue on. Let's see, we were over there. We've stumbled upon the people here in the center. Dorcha, hello there. I'm afraid I won't be good company just now. My closest friend, whom I've known since we awakened, has abandoned the dream. How does one abandon the dream? We call them soundless. Some of our people can't tolerate having an emphatic connection to those around them. They feel the emotions of others too profoundly. So, what do? They learn to cut themselves off completely from their empathy. Their world becomes silent, empty. They usually leave to live alone or with other soundless. And you said your friend did this? Yes. Last time I saw him, I couldn't sense him like I usually do. He said goodbye and walked away. How could he be so empty? I have no answers for you. Goodbye. I believe if you're a Sylvari character yourself, you could sort of console this character a bit more. But the soundless, in a nutshell, so all different Sylvari feel a sort of connection to every other Sylvari that are born from the Pale Tree, at least. So all of them are sprouts from the same mother, so they don't have different families and connections like that, because they're all siblings, basically. And before a Sylvari is sprouted or born into the world, they are taught everything that every other Sylvari knows within the dream before they awaken from the dream. And that's what they mean with the soundless Sylvari have sort of managed to detach themselves from this connection that every other Sylvari have to each other. And these soundless ones are, I don't know, you could call them like Buddhist monks, basically. So they sort of detach themselves from the material world and focus on their own feelings and their own self, and sort of try to keep everything else out, basically. Seclusive, very interesting characters, not good or bad, but just very, as a sort of very strong counterpoint to this extremely, connected Sylvari race in general. Okay, more Mist Warriors here. There are so many characters, and I'm so sorry if I miss one or two. I'm gonna try to like speak to at least most people here.
Never leave a wrong to ripen into evil. I haven't seen you around in a long time.
Yes, that's the same dialogue. Here we go. We have Candian. Welcome to the Grove, friend. Have you seen much of the city? Our artist helped shape its buildings. There are a lot of Sylvari artists. Many artists, but few who have time to exercise their skills. Most of us have set art aside to concentrate on the war against the dragons. That's too bad. People must prioritize during times of hardship. Art is a luxury, but one will hopefully win back after the dragons are defeated. Right, goodbye. Yes, fair enough. And more wardens here. And the waypoint. Many different travelers here. It actually does feel like a very buzzing and alive city. And you just walk around like this. We have Gorm.
I'm at your service.
I've been thinking, why don't the other races come from the Pale Tree too? Why aren't they conceived in the dream? They're not Sylvari. I don't understand. Why are we different? Humans have their gods. Asura believe everything comes from the eternal alchemy. Norn follow the spirits of the wild. That is a big question. I believe in a force that creates and shapes everything. It may be the dream, but the dream is built from our memories and our experiences. So, I don't know. Let me know when you figure it out. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was talking about. The sort of dream as the all-encompassing subconscious of the Sylvari race as a whole. Alright, Charr, hello there. My mentor says that I'll be ready to leave his side soon. Apparently I learn faster than most, but I don't feel ready. I wish my lessons could go on forever. There are other places you can continue your studies. I know, but it won't be the same. The Grove's so comfortable and so rich with learning. The Priory seems to be more action than study these days, or so I hear. They do what's needed. Goodbye now. It's pretty cool. So, another trait of the Sylvari is that they are extremely curious and extremely willing to learn new things. Yes, they are basically all kids. Like the oldest Sylvari are just 25 years old. pretty cool. And you see these saplings, which are the newly born Sylvari.
So far,
Oh.
mandrake is the most joyous plant I've ever known.
They're talking about
The roots
changing
are shaped
ring
like us.
etiquette Yet again.
Perhaps that is why.
Oh, how the vines of our lives twist and twine. And through it all, the one thing we can count on, no matter what, is change.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. But yes, we have this mentor holding a little seminar here for these saplings sitting around, trying to learn as much as possible. And that is basically the way that when a new Sylvari is born, they are usually connected to a mentor, a sort of personal tutor, I suppose you could call it, who teach them the ways of the world, which they didn't learn from the dream. All right, over here we have Corcair.
Hard ground makes stronger roots.
Yes, indeed. Your feet have seen many hills and valleys. How do your roots stretch so far without breaking? My roots? Your connection to those you love, those who make up your history. I've never left the grove, but someday I will. The thought frightens me. I understand. Fair enough. We have Brack as well. I've heard terrible stories about the sort of beasts that wander the world beyond the grove. Half human, half horse.
Joke you played. Boiled eggs.
He fell for it completely.
Wait, what? Okay, I don't really get the joke there. I've heard terrible stories about the sort of beasts that wander the world beyond the grove. Half human, half horse monstrosities and creatures that look like oxen but walk upright. Is it true? Centaurs and minotaurs, yes, they're real. Everyone is so frightened of the dragons. It seems to me like there are many other things to fear as well. I don't think I shall leave the grove. Bravery is not one of my strengths. The dragons may yet reach you here, but good luck. Sort of the harsh reality Subtlenose there. But that's very interesting as well, that Ventari, being the centaur that sort of nursed this pale tree, and the I think he said something about like stronger roots.
I was noticing the other day how plants resemble the body part they heal.
Like how a slice of carrot looks like an eye.
Exactly. And how a cocoa bean resembles a broken heart.
Yeah, there we go. Sylvari, logic and medicine there. Well done. But yeah, it's pretty funny that this guy talked about centaurs as monstrosities. Oh, this is cool.
Anymore.
I don't understand. The dream feeds us.
It doesn't feed me. It forces itself down my throat until I'm gagging on it.
But what will you do? Where will you go?
I need to find a quiet corner of the world just for me, where I have only my own emotions to deal with.
Sounds like he wants to become soundless.
I'll be lonely.
Perhaps, but I must go. I must find a way to break this curse.
The dream is not a curse.
Ah, alright, maybe that was it. Yeah, so this struggle many Sylvari feel they have with their own emotions and their own connection to the pale tree and stuff like that is so interesting when you think of this. This dialogue has been in the game since the game launched back in 2012, right? And all of this is so important for the latest expansion, Heart of Thorns, and the storyline there with the Sylvari, and when we learn in Living World Season 2 where the Sylvari actually come from and stuff like that. I think, alright, so this is going to be spoilers, obviously. So if you're watching my playthrough and you haven't played through the Living World Season 2 yet, then don't listen to this, just skip ahead. But we learn that Sylvari are actually spawns of Mordremoth, the elder dragon of the jungle. So if you play as a Sylvari character, you are basically playing as a dragon minion. And I think that that's the push and pull within the Sylvari race, that they are dragon minions, but they also have this very strong connection to the Ventari's tablet, which is all about peace and understanding and love, and Ronan's legacy as well, which is the same. So that's why they are such an interesting race to me. They are like, I understand why Arena are very proud of their own, young poster child race, the Sylvari, which they are so proud of being an ArenaNet original race, kind of. Which makes sense. We have more basil, bell pepper, and ginger root merchants here. This is so strange. I never really got why these guys are all over the place. And anyway, let's see. Have we spoken to this guy? Charr? My friends and I are putting a mini festival together in a few days' time. I hope you'll be able to attend. There will be a play, music, food, good nectar, and dancing. If there will be dancing, then you'll then we'll see. Alright, fair enough. I don't think Subtlenose is much of a dancer. Alright, we've spoken to these people already, I think. Yes, indeed. Alright, so this, by the way, is a very typical Sylvari house, I suppose you could call it. These ones are all over the place, and this is actually the door which will open. I think we'll see that later on when we go to the different instances in this city.
I can't take it anymore.
I don't understand.
Alright, that's the same dialogue.
Feeds us.
It doesn't feed me.
Let's head on over here.
Forces itself down my throat.
It's a beautiful little spot here. We can see this. This is pretty cool. Let's see. Have we spoken to Dorka?
Actual wisdom.
I'm afraid I won't be in good company. Yes, that's fine. That's the same.
I have only my own emotions to deal with.
Okay, so let's actually check out this place. We have a warden here. Looks very cool. Check out this guy. Jesus. And let's head into this huge pumpkin. Yes, that's what we have to like call this when we're doing this Sylvari playthrough. Yeah, let's head into the pumpkin. All right. This is so cool. Look at this place. So this is like a bar, I suppose. A Sylvari bar, which is very interesting. We have these little pods here. I suppose you can sit, have a nice relaxing drink of nectar. I love these little bulbs here, which are lighting up the place. No one we can speak to up here, though. This is pretty cool, though. Okay. It's pretty cool, the different things Sylvari usually wear. This is sort of the very leafy outfit most Sylvari wear, but we also have these adventurers, perhaps, or the Wild Hunt Valiants that have been out in the world and been fighting. They usually wear leather or armor. I think there's actually an NPC which, if you happen to hear them speak, talks about how the other races are so strange that they wear other animals' hides as their own, which is, they're talking about clothes, obviously. It's a nice little hammock place here. We have Gare.
Our deeds are reflected in the dream.
Indeed. I fear that someone from the Nightmare Court is following me. I saw her staring at me from across the commons. I take it she's not very nice? That's an understatement. The Nightmare Courtiers believe it's their role in the world to make others suffer. Definitely not nice. Yeah, that's true. We have a hostess here. Hello there.
All things have a right to grow.
Fair enough. Alright, and different citizens. It is confirmed, by the way, that Sylvari can get very drunk. Apparently they get drunk very easily. Compared to a Charr, you have to drink lots and lots of pints of beer to be drunk as a Charr. But it's very easy to be drunk as a Sylvari, apparently. We have a human.
Six watch over you.
A human traveler here in this bar. And we can... This has to be one of my favorite vendors. Leihis. He sells cupcakes for 48 copper. It's a pretty nice little merchant there.
Hello, beautiful. May I have a cup of nectar when you get a moment?
Of course. Find a seat. I'll bring it to you.
Alright. Can also buy some boiled crawdad and fish
All
steaks.
things have a right to grow.
So they are not vegetarians, Sylvari. Maybe people would assume that they are, but no, they eat meat and other animals.
Seize the moment.
Alright, Fjord. Hello, Charr. Tell me, would you, what is your culture's method for greeting one another? A hug, a handshake, bow, curtsy, a punch in the arm? A simple how do you do will suffice. That's pretty nice. I didn't know Charr had these manners. How do you do, really? I would think a punch on the arm would be more appropriate.
Terrifying for you. What did you do?
I grabbed onto the nearest thing, which turned out to be a Norn. He nearly knocked me off my feet, too.
Right. Hello there, Andrel. My partner is having trouble connecting with my family. I care for them both, but they seem unable to get along. Alright, so my family, I assume he has a sort of partnership going on with other Sylvari. It's not a traditional human family, for instance. I thought Sylvari don't have families. Oh yeah, here we go.
I was catching my second bloom of strength.
Sorry.
Restrain yourself.
You're ignoring me.
Oh my god, so many conversations going on at the same time.
Wherever did you get that idea?
Alright, I'm just gonna focus on this
Pull
one.
you out of
Not
the
like
mud.
you do. Alright, so I thought Sylvari don't have families. Not like you do, but we can form deep bonds with each other.
Go get us more nectar.
It binds us together like a family, but as I said earlier, not all of us connect so easily. Is someone your mum and sister and such? I have both brothers and sisters, and a couple mothers and fathers. My emphatic connection to them is stronger than with others, like it is with my partner. I think I understand. Yes. Oh yeah, and these little little like balcony things are just so beautiful. Actually, the next one is a bit more beautiful. Look at this. This is so nice.
In another 50 years or so, when you're old, you'll get it.
Oh yeah, these ones we're talking about. Let's see. This one, Sylvari asked the human, like, why do the elder people of your race, why are they treated differently and stuff like that? Because Sylvari don't age. They sort of pop up the same age as they will always be later on. And death and aging is a very strange and weird thing for them. So he was asking the human, like, why do you treat your older people differently than, young people? And this guy was saying, well, I mean, give it 50 years and you'll probably understand. Just a pretty interesting.
We are all the physical manifestations of some element of the dream. We all have a role to play.
If that's true, then that Charr is the physical manifestation of heartburn.
Right. Okay, we have some travelers, a Norn and a Charr. Pretty cool. Let's check out this little balcony as well. This is so beautiful. I love this, and I never saw this before. I did a quick run through to remind myself of the different NPCs in this area, and I've never seen this before. This is just a beautiful little vista. Okay, and there is a little step thing we can go here, and this is just a nice little platform. No reason for this to be here, but I guess we can have a good look at the huge pumpkin we were just inside. This is so weird. I mean, this huge pumpkin actually looks like it's not directly connected to the pale tree. Oh no, okay, maybe it is actually. Yeah, okay, it is. I thought maybe because the sort of pale tree is up here and this was not connected from above, but nah, I guess it's all part of the same one. Which is interesting then, that the pale tree can sort of manifest itself in so many different plant-like ways. These are pretty cool as well. Is that a lily or something like that? Sorry, I'm not very good with flowers. Alright, so we can go through here, and we enter this, yes, Starbower Nursery. Really? Nursery? I thought this was just the sort of downstairs area for the bar. Anyway, we can buy some Stranglebloom hearts or slices of watermelon.
Until we meet again.
Different fruits. More citizens and hostesses and stuff. The relationships this guy was talking about, by the way, the like very strong connections to Sylvari can have to each other. They specifically say that it's not connected to gender in any way. So homosexual relationships between Sylvari is a common thing and not considered strange or unusual at all. We have Aini. You can buy some moa egg omelettes. That's pretty nice. Okay. Nice roses here as well. Okay, so let's head on down another level. Yeah, we have a council cook. Oh, maybe something's going on here.
What can I do to help you prepare for tomorrow's meals?
The Firstborn have numerous guests, so I appreciate the offer. There are herbs to chop and meat to marinate.
Have the hunters provided you with enough meat?
Yes, they were diligent.
Alright, so...
What are we serving?
The Firstborn love my rosemary chicken and walnut fenugreek soup. We'll start there.
Alright, so this is, I suppose, maybe a tiny glimpse into Sylvari society and politics and how the Grove is ruled. So in general, the Pale Tree obviously is the mother of all Sylvari, so she is the sort of guiding force for the race as a whole. But there are also different, what you call it, like stewards of the different cycles of the day, which is a very big thing for the Sylvari. Like the time of day you sprout as a Sylvari is very important for molding your personality into something.
Our cook makes amazing dishes. I think you'll be pleased.
As long as his food and drink are more interesting than his conversation, I'll be happy.
Then she kissed me, like we've seen humans do. She put her lips on mine. And then she turned around and kissed someone else. And then someone else. Beautiful day to you.
The hell? Okay, it's interesting. But yes, anyway, so these guys, the cooks, are cooking for the firstborn. So I think 4 firstborn, 1 for each cycle of the day. So what is it? Night, dusk, morning, and day, or something like that. They are sort of the leaders of the race, even though all of them connected through the dream and everything like that. There is some, I suppose, hierarchy, especially considering who is the eldest Sylvari. So the firstborn, there are 12 firstborn who are all spawned at sort of the same time. Traherne being the absolute first of them. So those are then the most, I would say, like, important Sylvari, or the most politically active Sylvari, and the sort of guiding forces for the race. But, as I said, all answering to the pale tree at the very top. Alright, so we can buy some jug of autumn nectar and a glass of lemon juice. And Belcher's bluff stuff.
Dismissed.
Okay. Some Asura travelers hanging out in the bar here. That's pretty cool. We have a hostess spare. Food and drink, song and dance. Join us, stranger. I, for one, would love to see what dance music you can teach us. Maybe I will. That's pretty cool. I think that was a different dialogue based on the race you have. So if you're a Sylvari, then you can speak a bit more like, yeah, of course we're going to have a party, but this... now she says, I'm curious about your dance moves. Strange creature. A loaf of bread, some flour.
Dismissed.
Oh, and let's see. Kainair. We're lucky here in the grove, you know. So far, we've had no major attacks. I hope it lasts. They tell me the dragon's undead are sending offshoots our way, though. So I've heard. Yes, the constant threat. Ah, just a regular merchant. That's always good. Another sparkfly. Okay, so we've actually come down now to the 1 floor below. Gone through this on the other side of the pumpkin now.
Can't wait to grow old. Can you imagine? Human bodies change so dramatically. Also be beautiful when
I'll be dignified and strong, like they describe the human queen. She's not old though. Oh, she's very old. From what I've heard, already almost 30. Yes. That's a pretty cool perspective there on aging. Alright, so we are done with this, let's see, ground surface level, I think. Except, I forgot about this part. So, if you don't mind, we are actually going to teleport back up to the upper level. Alright, so here we are. And we'll go back down in just a second. I just wanted to show you this area as well. By the way, we do have these little pods here. If we go closer, then you can descend or ascend, depending on which one you go to. And this is sort of the fast travel system within the grove, which is a bit confusing because you can just take waypoints, but I suppose it's handy to have the first time you go. Nectar plant, speed boon. This plant's bulb are filled with a glowing, sweet-smelling nectar. Drink the nectar.
Faster.
The nectar is delicious and delivers a surprising urge to drop everything and go for a run.
A warrior of your quality knows how.
Okay, we have Lail. If your time in the grove is limited, be sure to visit the pale tree before you go. Perhaps I will. That's a bit confusing because the grove is the pale tree, but anyway. We have more citizens and another mentor with the saplings here. Lots of teaching going on in this place. More citizens just hanging around. Warden's watch gate. So, oh right, we have Cinder.
I'm at your service.
Does it make you nervous that I've been watching you? Please forgive me. It's just that you're so much bigger than you seemed in my dream. You saw me in your dreams? Not you, but others of your race. My mentor warned us that the dream can distort size and even shape, but you're the first I've seen to support what he said. Don't follow me. That's pretty cool. Dreamed of the Charr there. I love these like race-specific dialogues. They're so cool. All right, some little nice glass paintings going on here along the side. So this is, if you came from Caledon Forest, this is the entrance to the grove, which is, I suppose, how most people would view it.
Never leave a wrong to ripen into evil.
We have Cowl. Magic is truly amazing, wouldn't you agree? I suppose. It's easy to take it for granted, but think about it. Where does the fire come from? What allows us to channel such powerful energies? Has it always been this way? I don't know. We're scratching the surface of a power we don't understand. The Mother Tree may someday reveal its nature to someone through the dream, but until then, we will simply have to stand in awe of it.
I humbly welcome you.
Allow me to leave you in peace with your awe. It's pretty nice. Talking about the nature of magic. Oh, here we go. Here was the sapling runner. How wonderful to see you. My mentor is testing my knowledge of the grove by asking me to show newcomers around. Do you wish me to take you someplace? What services can you take me to? Perhaps an important landmark? Alright, so let's see these. Oh yes, I can take you to the lift that goes up to the Pale Tree Inventory's tablet, or we can go to one of the 3 order camps, Cave's Home, or the rooms of Dreamer's Terrace. Alright, I'll find my own way, thank you. Have another human traveller here, and yes, Caledon Waypoint, because this is the entrance to Caledon Forest. So if we check out this is so beautiful. This is the first shot you'd see when you come from the Caledon Forest of the Pale Tree. It is absolutely huge. And these are just like the roots spreading out. Ah, it's so cool. And when you think about the story in Heart of Thorns as well, like this is just one of the pale trees. There are others because of, you know, Ronan finding the one, or getting to take with him one sapling but not the whole bunch. Like, where did the sapling come from? They are probably part of Mordremoth, and somehow he was having a huge impact on the world even 250 years ago. So cool.
You won't be leaving the grove after all. That's beautiful news.
No, I changed my mind about leaving. Tomorrow I may feel differently.
Yes, all of this talk about Sylvari leaving and you know, exploring the world. It's a huge step for them, obviously. We have Lane. Greetings, look at this amazing view. I need a break from my learning circle. What are you doing out here? Learning circle? I suppose that's when they sort of sit around in a little circle listening to a mentor. Learning circle? What's that? Oh, sorry. We are mentored in the ways of the world from a moment when we awaken. My circle is aligned with dawn. Ah, yeah. We all awaken very close to one another. Our teacher is a firstborn and very wise. What are you learning? Our teacher is a firstborn and very wise. Alright, so I guess that's the firstborn of dawn, of the cycle of dawn. What are you learning? At the moment we're discussing other races and how they differ from us. For example, the way your race has young who are, at first, completely dependent on adults, like animals. You don't have young? Oh no, we awaken fully grown. But that doesn't mean we don't need guidance. The Pale Tree is our mother, and the firstborn are, what's the word? Aunts and uncles? That's it. I'll let you get back to your break. So I suppose English, or the common tongue, or New Crichton, or whatever, doesn't really work very well with the Sylvari family terms, it seems. Because uncles and aunts, I don't know. Citizens standing around. Okay, Nikita. It is good to see you. Your presence here is a sign that it's time for me to see the world on the other side of the growing fields. Do you have any advice for a fellow traveller? Sleep with one eye open and your weapon at hand. Ha! That's such a, like, Charr advice. Oh, come now. Surely it isn't that dangerous out there. I mean, how dangerous can it be? I'm sure you'll be fine. Well, I'm not afraid. I'm going to walk all the way to Lion's Arch and see what I can see. Good luck. That's pretty cool. So she's gonna...
Let's grab a nectar together later, okay?
I look forward to it.
Let's grab a nectar. Right, let's grab a drink. Right, so she's gonna walk all the way to Lion's Arch. Well, that is actually a bit of a trek. All the way through Caledon Forest, through Kessex Hills here as well, through the whole of Kryta and down to Lion's Arch. Well, good luck to her. That would probably take like, I don't know, 25 minutes in-game time. Okay, we have another little beautiful terrace here. Have a look at the moon. I just love this, like these great branches or roots. If you follow them, it goes all the way up along here, and then it actually turns into this thing, which is connected all the way to the Pale Tree. So it is so big, like it goes down all the way there. Okay, anyway. We have another little jumping puzzle connected to the vista. Let's see if I can do this. I remember when I first came here, I think my first ever character was a Sylvari, and I tried this jumping puzzle and I found it so amazingly difficult. I had to try it over and over again, but now it's fairly easy. Oh yes, and that's the Warden's Gate, the very entrance to the grove. Okay, the grove completion, 34%. Cool. Alright, so I think we're done here on this little offshoot here. Necrolith Bay, by the way, that's pretty cool. Anyway, we go back into the center here, the upper commons. And once again we head down, but we're going to take another slightly different path here. Plants bulb, yep, drink the nectar, here we go. So let's head on down this way this time. Down to this more dusky area, one floor down. Ah, this is so beautiful. Sparkling lights everywhere. Wardens everywhere, citizens. This is, I suppose, the nightlife area.
You cannot rely on information you receive from the dream.
Of course I can. The dream reflects all things.
You assume, my darling, that nothing ever changes.
My darling. Interesting discussion. Mist warriors all over the place. And I believe... Oh yes, we have... Alright, so Lyeth.
All things have a right to grow.
Just a little bit more. That's perfect. Don't move. I spent the last 2 hours coaxing these vines into place. Well, what are you doing? I'm shaping these plants, persuading them to grow into the shapes you see before you. Well, how does that work? All Sylvari can nurture and direct the growth of plant life. Our mother tree blessed us with this ability. That is so cool. What can you make them do? Nothing they wouldn't do normally. We simply direct their growth and they listen, taking the shapes we desire. Interesting. So that is how they make all of this. So I think gardeners and grove tenders and stuff are held in very high regard in the grove. They're very, very important citizens, sort of the architects.
A warrior of your quality knows others who want to fight in the Mist War.
I know plenty who walked through that portal. I know few who remained on this side.
I wonder, would you be willing to make some new friends? No? Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. The Firstborn sent them on a quest. They didn't know how long they'd be gone.
Did they say what the quest was?
No, only that it was important to the Grove's safety.
The Firstborn sent them on a quest, which is also very connected to the Arthurian legends. Okay, we have Althair. It does this old and not of a warrior good to be back in the grove. I've been too far away for too long. Where have you been? I travelled to Ebonhawk to visit the grave of an adventurer and fellow Sylvari named Killeen. This is cool. She awakened only a week before me, and I knew her well. Sorry for your loss. That is so cool. This guy references one of the books, The Ghosts of Ascalon. Killeen was a necromancer, and she helped Dougal Keen get to the claw of the Carner. But she sadly died in the book, and she was a very enjoyable and likable character. And yeah, if you go to Ebonhawk, you can actually visit her grave, and that's apparently where he's been. That's a really, really cool reference. I love that. That's cool. Okay. I know that I'm going all over the place here, but I really, really don't want to miss anything. Alright. Kelly Ray. I'm uncomfortable with this feeling. It's heavy and it hovers around my head when I see others, like I'm missing something. I want it to go away. I think that's loneliness. Is it? I learned of loneliness in the dream, but I did not feel it so acutely as this. It's an awful sensation. Luckily, it's not hard to fix. Goodbye.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Look at that. That footprint is enormous. Do you think it belongs to a Charr?
Either a Charr or a baby dragon.
I hope it's a baby dragon. They're less frightening.
Jesus.
I think Keith is lonely without Violin. She smiles less often these days.
Her heart is sore. I know I'd be lost if one of you went away.
Not me. I'd say good riddance.
Ah!
Wow. This jolly conversation here. And then they just run off. What the hell? Okay. Right. So let's see. Oh yeah, these guys are pretty cool. Germrid. We can see the pods. Within each one is a Sylvari. Are these the pods then, I assume? Yes, and it's my role to keep these pods healthy. The Blessed Mother does most of the work, but there have been incidents. Now we have someone to care for the pods. Yeah, incidents? Nature can be cruel. Sometimes a pod dies, killing the sleeper within, a cause for great sadness. I see. Alright. Coeltoire. Very French sounding names, these. Please be careful and keep your voice low. These pods behind me will open any time now. Are the ones in the pods still in the dream? They are. Gamerid and I tend these pods together. She keeps the pods healthy, and I greet those who have been newly awakened. What is waking like? Awakening from the dream is jarring. I liken it to having been blind and deaf all your life, then suddenly you can see and hear. Sights, sounds, and knowledge flood over you. What's the dream like? Some among us awaken while still in the dream, but this is uncommon. Most don't awaken until they emerge. Those who do report that it is surreal and disorienting, like a normal dream. I see. That's really, really interesting. I think if you're a Sylvari character, you technically awaken within the dream as well, where if you've played through the first episode of the Sylvari storyline, there is a dragon you fight within the dream, and you sort of fight off the nightmare and the hounds and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I guess that's what he's talking about. Alright. Very nice. I just love this roof as well. Like these roots hanging down from the ceiling. Looks so cool. Okay, let's head on over this little bridge here. Check out what's going on here. We have a warden place. No, actually, alright, so this is these are the different crafting stations. And I think, alright, so there's not much lore to be heard from these characters, obviously, because they just teach you the professions, or the crafting disciplines, but the way they've designed these different areas, so this is the weaponsmith, and it's sort of barky, forgy kind of, but plant-like. It's really, really cool design, I think. And if you just have a look over here, this is the, yes, alright, so the jewelry place has lots of different stones and stuff going on, which is very beautiful as well. Look at this big thing, Christ. So even though there's not much to read in these areas, it's still very cool to just see. This is the tailoring area. Yeah. Very cool. I think there is one character. Yeah, here we go. Merlane.
Our deeds are reflected in the dream.
It's ruined, and I know she did it on purpose. She ruined my floor circlet because it was prettier than hers. Well, hang on, what happened exactly? We were making things, my friends and I, to see if we were any good at shaping armor. My circlet was the loveliest, and Hayden dropped it into the river. How do you know she did it on purpose? I felt it, everyone did. She envied my shaping skills. I've got it, I'll put honey in her hair, then she'll know not to cross me again. I doubt that will solve anything. I don't know, to me that sounds very 18th century squabbling amongst like sisters or something like that, like a Jane Austen novel. Again, this sort of, alright, maybe perhaps not medieval, but sort of old-fashioned family values and stuff, which is all over Sylvari society, it feels like. And this is the Huntsman Station, also very beautiful. See the water coming from these little pods up there, making the wheels spin. So cool. Other than that, just citizens and crafting stations, so not much more going on here, I'm afraid. Let's see, yeah, and obviously players as well. So those are the different crafting stations. It's good to know, I suppose. And then different karma vendors here, obviously, which we have in every major city close to the crafting stations. And yes, this is the bank, which is a lovely shaped building here. Also extremely Sylvari in appearance, even though they do have like wooden chests. Let's see, have we spoken to Faoi? No, actually, I've been waiting months to see an Asura come through here. I've got burning questions that only they can answer. What is that you would like to know? I want to know how they get to be so inventive. I wonder if, because of their small stature, they feel compelled to leave their mark upon the world. I'd be careful how to phrase it if I were you. Asura bite, yeah. Fair enough. Oh, another directions warden here.
It is nice to see you.
Never mind. And this is the Reckoner's waypoint. Okay. Let's see, and these are the... yes, this is the trading post. Not much to see in there, I don't think. Let's see if I've missed anything.
You cannot rely on information you receive from the dream.
Alright, so we have Banach. Hello there. I've been traveling throughout Tyria, gathering tales to share.
Like a
Oh,
starving
hang on.
wolf after a sheep.
That cad. What are you going to do?
I'm going to call him to the dueling field and knock the cad right out of him.
Call him to the dueling fields. Again, very medieval way of dealing with things. Alright, I've been traveling throughout Tyria, gathering tales to share. I could regale you with one of 3 if you'd like. Haha, this is also very medieval, like a traveling bard. Alright, which topping would you prefer? Bravery, foolishness, or freedom? Start with bravery. There were once 2 Asura traveling together from Ratasum. As they walked, they spotted a crew of inquest coming towards them. One of the travelers ran into the bushes to hide, and the other one? The other traveler remained and waited for the inquest to approach. They spoke to him, but seeing no threat, passed him by. When they were gone, the hider returned, and he asked his friend what the inquest had said. The brave traveler told his companion, "They advised me to never trust anyone who deserts you when you need them most." Let's see, what about foolishness? There once was a clever bandit who devised a scheme to waylay travelers upon the road. He entered a nearby cave and from within yelled for help. I assume his scheme worked? Yes, nobles and scholars passing the cave felt pity for the poor soul trapped in the cave. But when they entered to help, the thief killed them and took their possessions. And one day the town fool passed by, and he too heard the bandits' cries. He called into the cave, "Stay there! Stay there, I'll help you." But he ran back to town instead. Why did he do that? He returned with guards who discovered the thief and his victims. The bandit asked the fool how he knew. The fool replied that he had seen many footprints going in, but none coming out. What about freedom? There was once a human seraph drinking the finest ale in the tavern in Divinity's Reach. A scruffy mercenary entered and sat down beside her. The barkeep asked what he desired. What did he say? The scruffy mercenary asked for a small glass of the cheapest draught. Upon hearing this, the seraph felt pity for the man and offered to take him to the seraph captain to see about a job. What did the mercenary do? He went along, and the seraph captain offered him a position. But when the captain placed a contract before him, the mercenary asked what it meant. And the captain explained that it was an oath of fealty to the queen. At this, the mercenary got up and left, telling the captain, "I'd rather drink swill and live free than drink fine wine as a slave." Ooh. An interesting point of view. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice little tales there. Oh, right, so we are heading into this area, right. So this is the, yes, the Derman's posting, the Derman Priory area. We can speak to Luelia. It's strange to be back in the Grove after 5 years. It is still the same quiet, peaceful place I left, so different from the world out there. Why did you return? My dearest friend betrayed me, but he regrets his actions and has asked for forgiveness. I returned here for a time to give my anger a chance to cool. I don't know if it will. Good luck with that. Yes, they are very sort of peace-loving and friendly and kind in general, but they also have these sort of spurts of anger, like kids, I suppose.
If nothing else, Sweet Pea, I would imagine that he feels your loss of him.
Me. Okay, but many different priory scholars here, obviously. We also have
always welcome.
a Stoir. Have you seen the latest artifacts from the Derman Priory expedition? What expeditions are you talking about? Derman Priory explorers just came through, loaded down with artifacts, scrolls, and tomes. They've been looking for traces of a bloodstone. Ooh, that's good to know. Interesting. Where have they been looking for traces of a bloodstone? I've been really trying to figure out what this says, but it's a bit too blurry, I think. But I like it that it's there. It's clearly New Crichton, I think.
I scattered rose petals around the hut and made a special dinner for him. I even brewed a pot of the ginger tea that he loved so well.
How did it go?
Sadly, he doesn't love me so well. He never arrived.
Oh. Sad little love story. But yes. Okay, and right next to the priory area, I think, yes, the hidden shelter. It's the Order of Whispers place. Not very hidden, to be honest, but yes.
Knock the cad right out of him.
Okay. Not many people we can speak to here. Sort of standard Order of Whispers tent, very sparse. And we have Grian. We've seen a flurry of activity in the Order of Whispers tents. What do you think they're doing there? If you were a member of the Order, you could find out. I'm not suited for them. I can't keep a secret. They eat away at me. Eventually I have to tell somebody. The Order seems to operate more openly here than anywhere else. Is that true? I've been outside the grove, but now that you mention it, I've never saw any Order's presence anywhere else. So you must be right. Perhaps.
Live well.
How would I possibly know the unknowable? Here we go. I just wanted to see if you could answer the unanswerable. Haha, yeah, I knew she was an undercover agent. Right, sorry for testing you, but I worry that the Order members in the Grove may be a bit less circumspect when it comes to sharing secrets. Huh, what do you mean? Maybe it's just the nature of the Sylvari, but to be more open. But the mere fact that all here know about the existence of the Whispers tents gives me a pause. Let's hope the tents are the only secrets not kept. Alright, fair enough, yeah. That is pretty cool, because when I spoke to this character on my priory character, then obviously I didn't have that conversation option.
So true. We are all special flowers.
Alright. But yes, that's an interesting point, that perhaps Sylvari are not the best Order of Whispers agents because of their sort of natural curiosity and them being unable to keep secrets and have to sort of blabber about everything they find interesting.
I could enter warrior training as well, and then we could train together.
If the dream calls you to it, then I say yay. If not, then to force it would be disastrous.
They'd put me with elementalist trainees, I suppose. My gifts lie there.
It's pretty cool. They'd put me in elementalist training. So who would they be? Is it like his mentor or something like that, I suppose? Okay, and right next to the Order of Whispers place, I think we have the Vigil place. Whoopsie, I nearly got shot there. Christ. Yes, this is it, the Vigil shelter. Anyone we can speak to in here? Maybe not. Nope, I guess not. But I think this is really cool. If you go around the corner here, you see this poor citizen just crying. I didn't really get why this guy was here around the corner crying. Maybe he was like he was rejected from joining the Vigil or something like that. I don't get it. It's really weird. Okay, but we have some different people, mercenaries and a sentinel training here. But yeah, just a standard Vigil place. Not much going on. I like that there's a warden in there as well, sort of guarding the Vigil, which seems a bit strange. Alright, more wardens, a wild hunt valiant. Some more citizens, and we are back here to the center. Let's see, have we missed anything on this level? I don't think so, actually. Yeah, because we've checked out the orders. We have been to the Scholar's Terrace. Yeah, that's the nursery, or the Great Pumpkin. Alright, and we've been through this crafter's area as well. So, I think we are actually going to head down to the level below again. So, head on that way and go down there, I think.
Master.
See if we spot someone along the way, perhaps. Drink some nectar, was good. Alright, so we are back here with the pumpkin. And check this out, this is so beautiful. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see, do we speak to Bedar? I think we did. Hello, friend. What sort of lesson? Yeah, I think so. Nope, never mind, whoopsie. Alright, hello, friend. If I seem a little out of sorts, it's because I just finished a lesson with my mentor. What sort of lesson? I was learning about Kralkatorrik, one of the elder dragons. Did you know that it's the size of a mountain? How terrible. Is that all you learn about? We have all kinds of lessons for the newly awakened. Lessons about Ventari's tablets, professions, Tyria's dangers, anything to prepare us for the world outside the grove. That is a good idea, keep it up. Very cool. I would love to listen to some of these lessons. about Kralkatorrik and the like. Mentor Gaelak. Hello, have you come to hear my story of the history of this fair city? We like this NPC. Sure, I'd like to hear about it. Excellent. I'll give you the short version then. No, I want a long version. Oh, never mind. The grove became a place when the pale tree sprouted. It became a home the moment the firstborn awoke. Tell me about the firstborn. Yeah, here we go. There were 12 who awakened first, and although 2 left to explore this world, others stayed behind to welcome subsequent saplings and grow our home. Grow our home? They used their plant-shaping talents to grow all you see around us. With each successive generation, the grove has literally grown into what it is now. Well said. That is pretty cool. So all of this home of the Sylvari is a sort of joint effort of every Sylvari adding to it, sort of. Which is a very nice idea. Let's just check if we have anyone else here. Yeah, Keron. My lessons are so boring. I understand why we need to learn about the political situation in Divinity's Reach and why we trade with the Sora, but I just want to be a cook. Even a cook should know those things. I don't see why. My mentor says I need to understand the workings of the world for my own enrichment, but anything that's not a flavorful herb or a roasting technique is just background noise. You'll see. Goodbye. And
I'm at your service.
Okay, pardon me, have you come back from the Black Citadel? Maybe. Why do you want to know? I've never been there before, but I would love to see it with my own eyes some days. It sounds incredible. All those metal bits, gears and springs. Is there a point to this? I've always been curious about the Charr, but I've been too afraid to say anything. I don't want to unintentionally offend anyone. Alright, we have different options, right? So, but why? Our people are like open books. We welcome your inquiries. Yeah, let's be encouraging. Really? I hadn't heard that. In fact, my own experience has been quite the opposite. Maybe I've simply met the wrong Charr. Ha! You plant folk sure are gullible. Oh, that's pretty cool. I love these sort of race-specific dialogues you can have. It's pretty good. Alright, and that's back to the vigil place. Lovely. So now we can go back down, I think. Ah, yeah. This is beautiful. The Centaur's Path. Obviously that is Ventari we're talking about. Okay, and another tiny little jumping puzzle. Whoopsie. These days made trivial by the amazing skills I've acquired throughout the years of playing this game. And as I said, I think ArenaNet just nailed it with the design of this place, because it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, and this is the Roots, Ronan's waypoint.
The members of the Nightmare Court are cruel. They're capable of terrible evil. When you're near them, you feel nothing from them but cold emptiness.
Indeed, Nightmare Courtiers are douchebags.
When the Nightmare Court was stalking us, it was the darkest night I've ever known.
You must have been terrified. How did you get away?
We ran faster than those who didn't.
Shit. That's depressing.
Our deeds are reflected in the dream.
Yes, indeed. But that is very, very cool, though. And you remember the story about Ronan planting the seed over the graves of his family? Yeah, this is Ronan's waypoint, and it makes sense that this is the very base of the pale tree. So this is probably where Ronan would have planted the seed in the first place, and where his old village was. Really long ago, this was a human village which was ransacked by the Mersat. Okay, so straight off the bat, would you like to continue to Dreamer's Terrace, our home? Yes, please. We're actually going to check out the Sylvari home instance here. Not much is going to be available for us here, obviously, but it's still a fairly beautiful place, and for sake of completion we should just have a look. Market broker, merchant. Never really think of Sylvari as having market brokers, but I suppose when they are interested in everything, then even economics is fascinating. Some menders here.
Into evil.
We have no affiliation with these people. But yeah, this is the home if you're a Sylvari character. The House of Rhiannoch. Rhiannoch is a, I believe, one of the firstborn. One of the firstborn who left the grove first and went on a quest. And he's connected to the legendary sword Khalad Bolg, which, by the way, very interesting. I just learned this the other day, that Khalad Bolg is a very sort of old English way of pronouncing Excalibur. So you know the Lady of the Lake and the medieval myth of King Arthur and the Lady of the Lake and the sword Excalibur and stuff like that. It's all based on that. Oh, actually, right. So it is connected to our personal storyline, because look at this. We have an ogre chieftain. Because when I was here on my Sylvari character, we had, I believe, a Hylic here. And a Hawkeye Griffin as well. It's pretty cool. Lots of farmers. Let's see, have I missed anything? Yeah, we can go in here as well. Did we go here already? And obviously we have the Belcher's Bluff guy. We can play some Belcher's Bluff if we want to. Not very exciting though. And these are interesting Sylvari just taking a shower. And this is all they do apparently. Alright, never mind. Never mind. We don't understand these Sylvari oddities. Oh yeah, and there was a quaggan here for my Sylvari, this little pond here. But since we didn't help any quaggans in this character storyline, there's no one there. Cool, and this is a little circle of people hanging around. Maybe they can admire my dancing skills. Oh, this is very strange, isn't it? This is a screenshot and a half. Okay, never mind. Let's stop fooling around, shall we? I think that's all we can get from this personal instance. So I believe let's head on out. Which way? This way, yeah. Head on back down to the grove, yes. Yes.
Others didn't.
What are they like?
Members of the Nightmare Court are cruel.
Indeed.
They're capable of terrible evil.
We have Cowl. Have you travelled here from Lion's Arch? I spent several years there. It's a lively place. Why were you there? I'm a wild hunt valiant. I assume you've met others like me during your travels. I was accompanying an important diplomat from the Grove. That was your big secret? Big quest? A valiant's quest is rarely all visible. Like the iceberg citadels of the Kodan, the majority of my quest remains hidden below the surface. I proceed one step at a time. That's a really cool cool analogy there. The iceberg citadels of the Kodan. Oh, I sure hope that Subtlenose can travel all the way up to the far northern Shiver Peaks at one point. Momak. May the sunshine warm your shoulders. You look as if you've seen a few adventures. You're welcome to stay and rest a while with us noon blooms. Ah, this is interesting. Noon blooms. What does that mean? Of course you wouldn't know. I'm sorry. All of my kind are born during one of 4 cycles: dawn, noon, dusk, or night. Your cycle affects your personality, we've found. How so? For example, dawn blooms have a talent for diplomacy. For noon blooms, it's action. Dusk blooms often pursue more scholarly activities, and no one knows the shadows like the night blooms. How does this happen? Our mentors teach that one's cycle, the time of day one awakens from the dream, imprints certain qualities upon us. Of course, there is always free will. I see. That's very, very interesting. Alright, we should cure the uncurable. What? Hey, that would require us to change the unchangeable. I've been studying the Nightmare Court for the Order of Whispers. Ah, my god, this is so cool. Have you learned anything interesting? I understand more about their philosophy. They see the Ventari tablet as manipulative and false, and they seek to free others from its influence. They see themselves as the saviors of the race. How does one become so blind? It takes effort. To join, you must purge yourself of everything that is good about you by doing terrible things. Once your morality is destroyed, you have a place in the court. Depressing. Goodbye. Very nice that we got some inside information there in the Nightmare Court. Yeah, so they are they think that their deeds are the right thing to do, even though they are surely questionable. Okay, and I think this is the pod specific for the noon people then. Yes, the House of Niam, which I think is one of the firstborn and the sort of steward of the noon blooms. Mentors and saplings, Oregon, more basil, right? And gardener Lydir. What do you think of our garden? Those of us in the cycle of noon work hard to maintain it. Rest here if you wish. It appears well kept. I like the sort of stark contrast here in this place. It's very bright. So it is. We noon blooms are vigorous and require plenty of space in which to spar and practice. I can imagine. So this is their garden. Like all of their different living spaces are thought of as gardens. It's pretty cool. Yes. So that's nice. Let's head on through clockwise, I think. There is nothing interesting in the waters just yet, actually. We're going to come to that in a little while as well. So we will discover interesting things in the waters, just not just now.
May the stars
have a
guide you.
standard laurel merchant there. And I
It's absolutely
believe...
clear to me. Sweetgrass purifies the air.
Sage also purifies, but with less subtlety. I prefer it.
Okay, they're talking incense. Interesting. Alright, we have...
Seize the moment.
You're very far from home. I can't even imagine what that must be like. Are you afraid? Do you worry about what might happen to you, to your home while you're gone? Sometimes. What made you leave? Did you want to go or were you forced? Do you have a calling, a wild hunt? If only I could see all the things you've seen. Do you always ask so many questions? I can't help it. It's part of my nature. I'm a dusk bloom, you see. I can't wait to get out into the world and see everything, do everything. My time will be soon. I see. Good luck. Yes, so the dusk blooms are the most curious of the Sylvari, even though all Sylvari, I suppose, are very curious by nature. Alright, so the different cultural vendors here as well for the weapons this time. We have Warden Fermoir. What is your need? Although I'm not on duty, I must remain vigilant. What do you do here? I am a warden. It is our duty to protect the grove from threats. We also provide our people with guidance and ensure they live according to the tenets of Vitari. Ah, this is good. What is the grove's greatest danger? It is the darkness within our hearts. Too many saplings heed that darkness and turn to the Nightmare Court for answers. Do you think that the Nightmare Court can be stopped? The court, yes. The nightmare, no. We all sense the darkness within the dream, and we must struggle constantly to keep the light alive. I wish you luck. This is so cool. So if we head on through here. Alright, Lintoina. Forgive me, it's not you. This is a very sad time for me. I have to find a way to save my love. Do your leaders banish people for stealing? Thieves? We kill them. I see, then perhaps the firstborn do know what they're doing. Trust your elders. Whoa, this is...
All things have a right to grow.
This is really, really dramatic stuff. It's not you, there's a very hard time. Alright, so... Save my love. Do your leaders banish people for stealing? Alright, theft is perfectly acceptable. However, getting caught is not. Oh my god, that's heartbreaking. So her lover is a thief who stole something, and they're getting executed because... Alright, we killed them. I see, then perhaps the firstborn do know what they're doing. The fuck? So the firstborn of the Sylvari support execution. What the hell? I never knew that. I didn't think that would be the case. Shit, that's depressing. But yes, alright, so we have the prison here. Is there a... yeah, there's a... Alright, Nightmare Court, yeah, I see. It's a very, very beautiful but also quite scary prison. We have some Nightmare Courtiers, obviously. And this is really depressing, just a citizen speaking to another citizen. It is disgusting, by the way. So these are the sort of meat-eating plants, right? So I suppose maybe, is this the way of executing people for the Sylvari? They just put them in these horrible pods and then they slowly get sort of digested. That is a lovely thought. In there we have an Etin, right? Yeah. Okay, and in there we have a husk. A summoned husk, apparently. And a Amini Hylek? Is that what they're called? The red ones?
Seize the moment.
Yeah, but this is a very like dark side of the Sylvari, isn't it? This is really, really interesting. Warden Agam. Keep your wits about you. There are dangerous creatures in these pods. What is this place? This is Nightshade Garden, bastion of the wardens and prison for enemies of our people. Can you tell me about the wardens? We're the Grove's peacekeepers. If you want to know more, ask my colleague, Warden Fermoir. I must return to my watch. I'll do that. Okay, what sort of prisoners do you keep in the Grove? Mostly Nightmare Court members, but also Soundless who commit crimes, Hylek who harass our citizens, and creatures who wander too close to our borders. Thanks for your time. Yeah, they're very, very tough, aren't they, these wardens? They don't fool around. That's the Soundless one, wasn't it? I think it said. It's so difficult to get these texts. Nightmare Court, yeah, never mind. Alright, so yeah, don't mess around in the Grove or you'll end up being executed. Okay. So that was this little high-rise. Let's see if there is anyone here. Nope. Let's jump on the lily pads just because we can. This is so nice. Okay. We've been there. That was the noon place, right? So let's head on through along the shore here. Oh yeah, we have lots of pink moas. Sort of the second pet, I suppose, for the Sylvari. The first one being obviously the Fern Hound or the Sylvan Hound.
Buster.
Okay, so we have another little pod here. This is the House of Cahendis. I believe, is this like...
Tell me everything.
Is this dusk, perhaps? My, Charr, you're so robust for one of your kind. Really? Would you care to take shade in the Dusk Garden? Yeah. Here we revere knowledge and would welcome your tales. I must continue on my way. Yeah, I don't have time speaking to these people. Saplings, karma vendors. Yes, and that's it. Cool. So what was this place called again? House of Cahendis. Cahedins. Yeah. The firstborn of the Dusk cycle. Let's continue on through here. Let's see. Lianuna. Do you ever wonder about your purpose? I know my purpose. I'll be on my way now. I like that conversation. That's pretty cool. Okay, anything else going on here? Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is fairly important places. Curse that betrayer. Stand back, please. My anger is in full bloom, and my thorns may prick anyone in proximity. Les Nuits. What happened? What is this? Who is this betrayer? Santak, seducer of my soul's heart. He calls himself the Knight of Avarice now. He bewitched me to help him and used me to secure his place in the Court of Nightmares. That's a cool way of saying it. The Nightmare Court, the Court of Nightmares. Alright, how did he bewitch you? For months he whispered his love for me. He made my blood rush like a raging river, and I have never felt such devotion and faith. And he abandoned your love? To be initiated into the court, he had to seduce and use an innocent to deliver a new seedling to be corrupted. There's more, but I tremble to share it with anyone. I promise to listen discreetly and without judgment. Yes, you have a kindness about you. Very well. Santak told me he wished to meet one of the newest crop of seedlings. Did you think to ask what he wanted? I was swept away by my desire for him. I would have hunted the moon for him had he but asked. When I brought one of the newly awakened to him, he revealed his true nature. Yeah, what did he do? He hit me so hard I fell into dreamless sleep. When I woke, he and the seedling were gone. I can only imagine what he did to the poor innocent. That is truly sad. Holy shit, that's a depressing story. Well, let's try and liven up the mood here by actually going into the waters. And this is not the place. Never mind, I just... Okay, I think maybe it's on the other side then. Is it? Yeah, or maybe even it's... Oh, no, it's on the north edge. Sorry, never mind that. Alright. Would you like to continue to the House of Caiths? Yes, please. Sorry, screwed up there. Anyway, so this is just looks like a wall, right? But if you walk close to it, the House of Caith, you can go inside. And we have some stuff here. We have Caith there, but we also have an open book. This book is well worn and contains almost illegible notes in the margins. Someone wedged a folded piece of paper between the pages. Examine the piece of paper. The paper is of rough linen, folded into a bookmark. It is blank. Okay, examine the book then. The book was made with modern Crichton binding techniques. The title embossed on the spine reads, "Long distance relationships. 10 ways to make it work. Leave." That is really cool. So obviously the story of Keith and Fowlane there, and she's trying to make it work by reading about long distance relationships. That's so sad. Anyway, bookshelf. This bookshelf holds an eclectic collection of items, everything from treatises on ancient Crichton lore to the Soren theories on Sylvari metabolism. The tomes are fastidiously arranged in order. Oh man, I would love to read all of these, but never mind, I guess we don't have time. Alright, Keith, hello there. Oh, hello, Subtlenose. I'd love to chat, but I'm in the middle of something. Would you come back from another time, perhaps? What are you doing? Blending poisons for my blades. I'm no high-lick alchemist, but I do fine. Interesting. Talk to you later. Okay, is there anything in here? Yes, there's a Sylvari lamp, and the only thing we can do with it is light it. Woohoo! So this is Keith's little bed, I suppose, where she sleeps. Spends her time thinking about Fowlane. Let's see, and there's a little showering area here as well. It's beautiful. And this little nook here with absolutely nothing in it but the back side of the bookshelf. Okay, but that's it for Keith's home, I think. Yeah. So let's head on out again. Alright. So I guess she's then, let's say she's preparing for the, we're going to meet her later on in Twilight Arbor then, right? Oh, the House of Melomades, by the way, sorry. Gardener Kroger. Alright, rest beneath the canopy of the Garden of Night. I will keep your presence here a secret if you wish. A kind offer. We Night Blooms believe your secrets are your own, and because we understand the need to move beyond detection at times, we don't question which shadows you choose. And Night Blooms have many secrets. Those born in the cycle of night are naturally shy of the light. They're usually very private about their affairs. I'm sure you wouldn't understand. I understand just fine. Come on, I'm a member of the Order of Whispers. So this then is the Sylvari cycle, which is best fit to become agents of the Order of Whispers, I suppose. Lots of different citizens, and there's a couple of mentors, and saplings. Very cool. Let's continue on our way here. We have Colwyn. I disagree with many of the philosophies taught here, but I don't want to isolate myself, and I'm afraid my only other option is the Nightmare Court. Will you join them? I would rather die. I could never do the horrible things they do. I still believe in goodness and morality. I just simply find my own way. Best wishes, good luck. This, I think, is like one of the most understandable and sympathetic Sylvari ever. Colwyn is my favourite. Well done there, Colwyn. And we have...
I'm ready to go.
More basil. I mean, I don't get this. Is this like a weird joke from ArenaNet? All these bloody basil merchants? Anyway, Farage? I've been wondering whether it's possible to resist the darkness within the dream, or whether we'll all be doomed to become like the Nightmare Court. What do you mean? Those of us who awaken during the night cycle walk hand in hand with darkness. We understand it as few others do. We embrace it. Are you evil? Of course not. Night Blooms and Nightmare Courtiers are very different, though their names are similar. We slide through the shadows, and they corrupt them. I see. That is a difference, I suppose. Mm-hmm.
How did it go? Sadly, she doesn't love me so well. We never alone.
Head on through here. Have some weapon merchants, a standard merchant as well. All as well.
How wonderful to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Gorin. Oh dear, Afe wants me to round up her sprouts for archery class. Have they scattered? Yes, they get easily distracted when they're newly awakened. Firstborn Afe has the patience of a cycle luminary. I, on the other hand, do not, even though I'm cycle of dawn. What is a cycle luminary? Ah, this is what we've been talking about. That's the correct definition. Cycle luminaries are the firstborn who lead each of the 4 cycles. Afe is the dawn cycle luminary. Kahendis for dusk, Niam for noon, and Melomades for night. Your cycle of dawn? Yes, like Afe, I am Dawn Bloom. It may not show right now, but I have good diplomatic and reasoning skills. I expect to leave the Grove one day and join the German Priory. Alright. Do you know where the other firstborns are? Ah, this is good. This is really good. I've heard from or about Kaith, Cahendis, Melamides, and Niam in recent days. Tell me about Kaith. She's off adventuring, as always. They say that when she emerged from the dream, she immediately left to explore the world. She has gone a lot. And the others? Let's see. Tell me about Cahendis. Sorry, Cahedins. Cahedins is never far. His passion for creative pursuits like plant shaping keeps him busy though. Look in the grove's gardens and terraces. He likes to spend time maintaining them. Let's see, and the others? Malomades? He's most active at night. Maybe ask one of the other cycles of night. I don't recommend bothering him when he's buried in his mathematics though. That's pretty cool, like a Sylvari mathematician. Tell me about Niam. She's often with the other cycle of noon, practicing their weapon skills and training with within the wardens. Follow the sound of clashing steel, and you'll likely find her. Alright, that's all I need to know. Let's see, your cycle of dawn. Have you heard anything from the firstborn outside the grove? Dagonet sometimes visits from Divinity's Reach, but I rarely hear about the others. Dagonet is the Sylvari ambassador in Divinity's Reach, which was also the one participating in the in Corticus Manor, right? Sort of the Sylvari ambassador there. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can find anyone else here. Yes, and we will learn actually quite a bit more about every different firstborn when we reach season 2 of The Living World. We will... Yeah, I'm not going to spoil more.
Seize the moment.
Yes, indeed. More battle. All good. And an armor smith there as well. Okay, let's actually quickly just check out this place as well, because, yes, the Garden Root Tunnel. So, we can see here we have some miners actually sort of hacking away through the roots here in order to make a little path so that we can descend and ascend at will, which is an interesting thing, I think, because they sort of carve their way through their home, which is otherwise, otherwise they just shape the plants, but now they actually use picks and stuff. This is also a cool little place, I think, because if you check the map, this looks like a little sort of way out from the grove here. Private gardens, it even says. And if you check the map, there is not an area here for us to explore. Metrica province is all the way over here, but this area of the map is so far uncharted, and we can't go there. So maybe in some future update, this little entrance will open up, and there will be a portal here instead, which is pretty interesting. So if we head on through here, we will see that we have entered the upper level here. So let's not bother with that. Let's just jump back down and continue. Oh, and actually there is there is a vista on top of this building here as well, which is another one of these fiddly bits. It's not very difficult when you got a hang of it, as I say. There we go. Lovely stuff. There we go. I think isn't that a thing where you can like if you want to earn some like quick experience and also transfer a Black Lion key, you can do the sort of Grove exploration run where you create a new Sylvari character and then you instantly go into the Grove, explore everything, and then you get a reward at the end. I think that's like a farm people do. Okay, so this is the place. Right, so right next to this pod here, we have this little waterfall, which is beautiful, and there's nothing really else here going on. But if you see, this is a little weird pond, just over here on its own. So if you go down here, you notice, there's a little entrance here. You can go under, and you reach this place. It's like one of the most beautiful places in the game with the lighting effects in here. Absolutely gorgeous. And if you check the map where we are, this would be the entrance or exit to the Necrolith Bay. But, of course, it is sealed off and we can't go there. And there's nothing interactable here or anything like that, but it's just a very beautiful fountain, waterfall place here, with these very cool, what you call it, like bamboo looking trees. And I don't know, I recognize a similar tree, I think from, is it Cantha in Guild Wars 1 or something like that? I don't know, it's reminiscent of something. But yeah, this is just gorgeous with the lighting effects. And as I said, sadly we can't actually go here. But maybe in a future update we might be able to. And that, by the way, is another, it's a player, it's not an NPC. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. I love those little hidden areas. Okay, so back we go. We're almost done with this sort of roots plane now as well. Gardener Oraiste. Welcome to the Garden of Dawn. Alright, are you the Cycle of Dawn? What does it teach you? We strive to be the wisdom and the voice of our people. We speak as diplomats and focus on establishing relationships with others. Interesting.
How wonderful to see you.
I have come to kindle the unkindled. See, there are just agents all over the place. Then you must be prepared to tame the untamable. Another Whispers agents. I've been assigned to keep an eye on the firstborn. Though working in the Garden of Dawn, I've mostly heard about Aif and Dagonet. Of course, Dagonet being the diplomat. What have you learned? Nothing about Aif that Gorin doesn't already know. Dagonet resides in Divinity's Reach, representing the Sylvari in royal matters there. Let's see, Gorin, is that a high up in the Order of Whispers, I suppose? Does he plan to stay there long, Dagonet? He seems comfortable, but if he moves a muscle, I'll be the first to know. Meanwhile, I'm working towards finding a more strategic position from which to keep an eye on the other firstborn. I hope that works out for you. Very cool. So, the Order of Whispers have their interests in knowing about all the different firstborn and what they're up to. Very interesting information there. Here we are, the House of Aif. Alright, anyone in here we can speak to? Maybe not, maybe it's just the gardener down there. Which is fair enough. Okay, beautiful. Let's see, that is the home instance right there. Let's see if we can just go right along this path here as well. And perhaps speak to someone along here. Nope. Maybe not. Oh yes, actually, we have this very interesting character here. Ferric. Ferric? Isn't that the greatest name ever? Because it's my name, but it also sounds like a song. Ferric. Especially when I sing it like this. That is a nice name. Who gave it to you? What do you mean? No one gave it to me, it's my name. How could someone give you something that's already yours? Are those your ears? Yes? Well, who gave them to you? The answer is that no one gave them to you because they have always been your ears. It's like nobody gave me the name Ferric. Then how do you know that Ferric is your name? Because when I first awoke from the dream, Dillis was there and she said, "Welcome, my name is Dillis." And I said, "Hi, my name is Ferric." How do you know that those are your ears? It is nice chatting with you, Ferric. Yes. Very eccentric character. I like him. He's pretty cool. Okay. Anyone else here? It's a beautiful little bridge. This is like such a romantic spot. Me and Ferric having a romantic, lovely little chat here. Oh, look at us. We're so shy. Ah, this is beautiful. Okay, sorry. Alright, I think that's the full loop. I think that's everything we can see here.
The Charr are two-legged predators. Oh. They know only conquest and devouring.
I don't believe that. I've heard they create as well. Fabulous structures of metal and motion.
Yeah. Of course we do. Alright, we have Blath. Look at you. You're Charr. I never expected your kind to be so imposing. Can I touch you? You're one of the new ones, aren't you? I'm newly awakened, yes. Just yesterday, actually. Ah, that's cool. I know some things, but not everything. I know, for example, a lot about leatherworking. Really? I see. Good luck. The hell? Okay. Sure, why not? Your skin appears so fragile, but there's strength inside, like petals on hardwood. Hairy petals, but okay. Can we do something dignified as well? I don't know you well enough. Oh, forgive me then. I've just only awakened. I have much to learn about the world. I know some things, but not everything. I do know a lot about leatherworking. Alright. That is weird. That is weird. Yes, I suppose Sylvari's skin is like bark-like and rough compared to the soft, fluffy fur of the lovely Charr. Alright, Momak, may the sunshine warm your shoulders. You look as if you've seen a few adventurers. You're welcome to stay and rest a while with us at Noonblooms. Alright, right. I have much to do, yeah. And cure the incurable. Yes, we're back here. Excellent stuff. So we are actually all done with this place then. Well, actually, I have missed apparently a vista, which is up there. So I think we're gonna have to go back up and see. Have we missed anything else? Yes, we have some points of interests left. One right over there. So I think we're gonna grab that one first, and then head on back up, and then have to like jump down. I think for that last vista. I'm pretty sure. I guess if some of you watching are the people who do the sort of Grove run, oh, this is the other back route tunnel. Okay, cool. Then you probably cringe at my ineptitude at exploring this place, you know, as quickly as I possibly could. But some going back and forth is required, I'm afraid. Alright, so if we jump down here and glide, easy enough. Can check out if there's anything in here. There's nothing of interest really. Some pods and some tables and yes, some mushrooms in the corner. That's lovely. Okay, let's check out this place. The last vista of this beautiful, beautiful capital city. Excellent. 6 out of 6 vistas. Okay. So, where are these last ones then? I think we are all done with the bottom layer here, the underground. So if we can get one layer up, see what we can find. Anything we've missed here? We still have 3 points of interest left. What about the surface? Oh, there is a surface one we've missed. That's embarrassing. So there's one there on the surface, and I believe maybe 2 up there. Yes. Okay, so let's head on back up. We're actually going to use these petal things, or what would you call them?
What are they like?
Yeah. These ones. Elevators. Okay.
Seize the moment.
Ascend. Yes, here we go. And we actually get a nice little cutscene, like a vista. That's apparently me inside the pod. Heading on back up. It's actually really, really beautiful. And there is our pod. Tan-ta-da-da. Excellent stuff. Sounds like someone's using a firestorm. Okay. So, was there a point of interest just there? How did I miss that? That's embarrassing.
Master.
So we're back here by the Asura Gate, by the way. Ah, maybe it's this path down here. Yes, okay. Yes, the Maker's path. So the Maker's then being, I suppose, the firstborn, who creative enough to sort of make everything.
What's troubling you?
I had the worst nightmares last night.
Yes.
They cling to me still.
I think if I wait for long enough, this gate engineer and the gate assistant have like the funniest dialogue. But we're not going to wait around for that, I don't think. We have the last area of this beautiful place to explore. So, okay, we're all done with all the 3 different levels now. The 3 base ones. Now there's only the upper level left. Yes. So the Omphala's chamber. Would you like to continue? Yes, indeed. So this is another... Oh, Sylvari butt cheeks there. This is its own instance. So this is sort of the crown jewel of the Grove in general. Excellent. No, we don't want to exit to the Grove. This is one of the coolest places in the game, I think. and actually one of the most significant for the story as well. At least it's going to be as we get along, as we continue. Alright, so we have a teacher and some saplings. We've seen this before, but just look at these beautiful patterns on the walls, or on the branches, I suppose. And also the beautiful music in the background. And here we are. This is Ventari's tablet. This is it. This is like the artifact that the Centaur Sylvari made. The commandments of the Sylvari is right here. This is the stone block, which he used right before he died. He scribbled these notes down and left them by the side of the still budding pale tree. Here we can interact with it. Ventari's tablet. The words of the centaur sage Ventari are carved into this stone. More than a relic, the tablet is the moral foundation of Sylvari society. Read the tablet. And you'll recognize many of these quotes from just random NPCs, Sylvari NPCs all over the world who say these phrases, and it's all from this tablet. Live life well and fully and waste nothing. Do not fear difficulty. Hard ground makes stronger roots. See, hard ground makes stronger roots. That's exactly the quote from Ventari that the Sylvari calling centaurs in general monsters used that line, which is a bit strange. 3. The only lasting peace is the peace within your own soul. Number 4. All things have a right to grow. The blossom is brother to the weed. So cool. All things have a right to grow. They say that all the time. Number 5. Never leave a wrong to ripen into evil or sorrow. That's the full quote. Number 6. Act with wisdom, but act. Continue reading. And number 7. From the smallest blade of grass to the largest mountain, where life goes, so too should you. That is beautiful stuff. So yeah, that's the sort of moral foundations for this whole society. This whole thing, this whole grove is founded on these nice words. Okay, and there are lots of sylvan pups running around, so let's speak to Parowan. Don't mind the pups, they investigate things by chewing on them. Do you grow them? We do not, the pale tree does. They come from her, just as we do. Once they bloom, I train them to protect the grove. They're smaller than other sylvan hounds I've seen. These are only just awakened. It takes them a few months to grow into their full size and strength. So, which is really cool. So, like, these ones are actually, I suppose, cousins of the Sylvari themselves, because they are still like blooms and blossoms of the same tree, right? So that would make them basically the same, part of the same family, which is pretty cool. That they also, the sylvan pups, don't come out of the pods fully grown as the Sylvari do. They have to sort of grow up the same way as normal dogs would. Pretty interesting, I suppose. Alright, we have 2 adventurers here. We have Corwin. My companion and I got caught in a conflict with nightmare courtiers yesterday. Fortunately for us, we got away, but Elodin was injured, so I brought her here to rest and heal. This is Elodin, the Sylvan Hound. I hope she improves soon. Yes, indeed. And Silana, I believe Quina and I are nearly ready to leave again. Her injuries have healed enough that we can get back to adventuring. Good luck. And this is Quina, the fancy mower there. 2 rangers just having a nice time. Don't want to exit the grove just yet, because we have yet to speak to the most important character in this whole place, which is right here, the avatar of the tree. There's miners, bankers, and wardens here. Yes, the soul of the pale tree. And speak to the wardens. My, it's always a pleasure to see strangers in our midst. The days are long here. Even knowing that I protect our mother and the tablet, I still grow bored. Are you here to see the Blessed Mother? I haven't decided yet. Speak to the other warden first. My, it's always a pleasure to see strangers in the midst. The days are long here. Yes, okay, that's the same dialogue. Okay, let's actually check out Avatar of the Tree. Hello there. This is... let her speak for herself. Charr, I welcome you to my grove. You'll find warm hospitality always in the shade of my branches, so long as you foster peace and partnership. You have heard of Scarlet's death? Okay, This is sort of immersion breaking because this is dialogue left since the end of season 1 of The Living World, and the ArenaNet have still not like gotten rid of this dialogue. So if we, have you heard of Scarlet's death? I'm aware the job is she is no more. I grieve for one of my children, even as I rejoice that she has been set free from the darkness that was consuming her. Understood. Yeah. All right. So just ignore this, I guess. Your branches? What are you talking about? I am not as I appear to you. This small body is but a manifestation I use to put visitors at ease. Haha. My entire being stretches deep into this world and out into the dream. I am more than you can imagine. I don't understand. It is complex. My children, the Sylvari, exist in a realm called the dream prior to awakening here in this world. We are all one, all connected, and all of the same source. All of one mind? Not necessarily. Free will plays a role. Not all choose to embrace Ventari's teachings. The soundless use meditation to cut themselves off, and the Nightmare Court twists their beliefs beyond repair. Ventari? This is so cool. He was the wise centaur who settled his grove and put down the first roots here. His friend Ronan planted my seed here. His tablet of aphorism provides the foundation for our code of behavior. I see. I better go. Yes, so this is the tree. This is like the manifestation of this whole place, this whole grove, and this huge, enormous structure that we're actually standing on. That is her. And she is planted by Ronan, tended to by Ventari and Ronan, and yeah, I mean the avatar of the tree, or the pale tree itself, is like one of the most central characters for the lore of Guild Wars 2 ever. I think than any other leader of any other race. So far, at least, the pale tree has played the most significant part, and I'll get to that later on as the story unfolds, obviously. But yes, I'm pretty sure that is it. That is all we can see from this place. It's a beautiful, lovely place, and we can actually check out the rest of the grove from up here as well. That's the pathway down there to the Caledon Forest. So I think we can just teleport down again, or we can actually, if we just jump down, woohoo! Yeah, we get teleported out as well. And there you can see the grove, 100% done. Let's just grab ourselves the reward, shall we? The grove map completion. Yes, indeed. Transmutation charges. Oh yeah, maybe they're farming for transmutation charges. Is that what people do when they do the grove run? I don't know. Anyway, and some experience. Let's have that, please. And we didn't get an email? No, that's fine. Did we not? No, okay, never mind. So there we go. That's it. This has been a very long video, so thank you for making it to the very end if you've come this far. Hopefully this was enjoyable for you. And I'm so happy that we're done with the grove now, because we can move on up to Caledon Forest. This is really cool. I think we learned a lot about the Sylvari as a race. And this has also put everything that we are going to have in the Twilight Arbor story instance, sort of put all of that into a better context, I feel. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. And yeah, as I said, next time we'll travel north up to Twilight Arbor. Hopefully I'll see you then. Alright, but until then, me and Subtlenose say goodbye. Toodaloo.